Well, good evening, everybody. It's KC Jilly here. The sun's almost all the way down, and all the little snails that have been eating on my cabbage are about to get started munching, so I've got a little bit of permethrin for them, some spray. So I'm going to take my little spray bottle here, and I'm going to apply it all over these leaves on these cabbages, and in the broccoli, some of that kind of stuff. The stuff I see where they're munching out on. And I'm gonna try to keep them at a minimum. It's been about a month since the last time I sprayed, and I'm just starting to notice the activity again, and I'm seeing the little boogers on my stuff. So I'm gonna go hit this stuff. All right, guys. So y'all see these holes in here where these dadgum critters are munching. And what I'm doing is I'm raising it up and I'm hitting them from the underside as well as on the top side when I spray. So I don't know how to set my phone down over here close enough where you guys get a good look and I get this dang poison stuff on everything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get it sprayed. But I want you to kind of understand that, I mean, it's easy spraying the tops, but I think it's important you got to get on that underside because that's where them little suckers are always hiding. And on the bigger ones, you know, you can see it on the broccoli where they're starting to munch again. On the bigger stuff, let me come over here. Like say on this and some of this Mitchahili, they get down in there and you can see them. Their poop will be down in there and piled up. See, they're hitting this cabbage again pretty good. So I'm fixing to give them a little dose of it and see how they like it. Is by doing this in the evening. It's got all night long, which is when all them little buggers come out anyway. And it kind of settles in on them leaves and dries up. And any of those critters that come over here to get a little bite, that are enjoying all my food before I get it, they're gonna pay the price. And I've got that many less critters to mess with. And the good thing is that this lasts about 3 weeks to a month. That's what I was told. And I've seen it in action now. So it took about a month for them to start messing with me again. And this stuff made all the difference the last round. So let's keep them guys at bay. Use the old gloves. Keep that crap off of me because I don't like it. And I don't like the smell of it at all. Makes me nervous putting it on my food. But I ate some of the last stuff and I couldn't smell it anymore by the time I picked it, and we washed it real good. So, you know, surely, I mean, I could let them keep eating, but boy, they're putting some pretty good holes in some of my stuff over here before that last time. And I finally had enough. Seen enough people that I trust, lots of guys talking about using stuff in that. A lot of them use a lot of different things. This permethrin stuff they weren't that big on because it'll kill the bees and stuff too. But I'll tell you, I haven't seen many bees. And I don't think it's because of this. I think it's because of the time of year where we're at. So I think this is the way for me to go right now. Now in the summertime, I get squash bugs or something like that. This would not be what I would use. I'd try some of this other stuff I've been hearing about. But I gotta say, this has got the results that I'm after. And these dadgum cabbages, I mean, I'm not putting fertilizer on them and stuff like you see all these guys on YouTube. I'm not fertilizing like that, not because I don't want to, I just can't afford it. But they're still, my cabbages are still naturally doing okay. They're coming along pretty good and starting to head up. And so, at least if I can keep the critters from eating all of it, I mean, I don't mind them having a bite, but dad burn. I'm not growing it for them to eat, it's for me. Alright, and I don't have to mess with this perpetual spinach. That stuff, they couldn't do damage to it if they wanted to. That is some tough stuff. Don't gotta mess with the onions. I will say I saw some snails on my carrots in the greenhouse. So I may hit those greens on those carrots as well before I'm done. Who'd have thought snails will eat your carrots? I don't guess they can hurt a whole lot, but I want to make sure that I get the best carrots I can get. Alright, so this little section's dead. I've probably used about a half of what I started off on this bottle. I want to say it's about a quart bottle, and it was full of water, and the first time I used it, I used 1 tablespoon of that permethrin, and it was so stout, my God. And so I used up almost down to, I'd say, until there was about a third of a bottle left. Took it out to the secret garden to show some love out there and just filled it back up with water. I didn't put any more poison, and it worked just fine like that. And I haven't filled it up again either. If I do, I'm just filling it up with water because I can still smell that poison so stout. So we're going to move on along, head that way. Let me get some of these little ones over here. We're going to nuke them. They seem to really, really enjoy the Michihili. And I think the reason why is because it's such a thin-leafed and tender cabbage. I have been struggling to find recipes for this stuff on YouTube. So if any of you guys have some ideas on how to cook it, you got something specific for it. I mean, I keep hearing stir fry and stuff, but I don't eat that much stir fry. Now I like cabbage, but what I did use it for, when I did use it, is I made cabbage rolls, and I steamed these leaves. Let me see if I can get over here. I steamed these leaves and rolled up on my meat and rice and stuff in there, and they were pretty darn good. But I still would have preferred regular cabbage to this stuff. This stuff was just convenient because it's such big, long leaves. You know, I'm holding this guy up. I know you probably can't tell, but it's above my knees from the ground, this one leaf. So I'm going to say that's probably, man, probably 26, 27 inches right here. One leaf, you know what I mean? So they are very capable of wrapping something. Think about a tortilla or something. And if you was going to roll up all your taco, it's easier when you got a bunch more tortilla. All right, come here, Peter. Oh, man, them critters have been a munching here lately. They really like this stuff. In fact, I think this is probably their favorite. Of everything they munch on, these, even when they're big like this, they still keep on working on it. All right, man. Boy, the one that takes a bite out of this is going to be sorry. So, the truth is, it's a hassle. To have to mess with this, it's a hassle. But is it worth it? I mean, who wants to cook a bunch of holy cabbage, you know? Not Jerry. And I still haven't done anything with the kale. My mother-in-law was telling me that my sister-in-law likes to make it with bacon and something else, and that sounded pretty good. I'm not a big smoothie guy, especially not the green yucky ones. I don't like yogurt. My family does. Pretty much all the healthy stuff to me is bleh. I'm poor, so I was raised on beans and taters and rice and deer meat, stuff like that. I like salads. Fideo, a lot of Mexican food. Pretty good stuff. Back before we had all this illegal alien issue, my daddy used to work a bunch of guys out in the cedar break. And they'd cook up some gold underground in a hole, start a fire under there and roll it up in a tow sack and stuff. Man, they made some cool food. They'd come in and spend the night here. Every once in a while we'd bring them home one at a time. They lived in a bus out there in the cedar break. And they'd take a bath, and I just remember as a little kid thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're so dirty to leave that much dirt in the bathtub like that. But, you know, the guys doing what they had to do to take care of their family. All the money they'd make, they'd put it in an envelope, and they would send it back to Mexico. They'd address their envelope, and my dad would send it back up until they started finding people for working them. And, oh, this one's going to seed, Dad burn it. But they'd do that, and you know, that group of folks that was coming across the border never bothered me and mine. But nowadays, I mean, we got all this terrorist crap and freaking Russians, Chinese, Iranians, just all kinds of people coming across. And now, instead of finding us for working them, we get fined so that they don't have to work. How about that? America, America. I'd like to spray some of this in JB's eye. All right. Okay. All right. What do you think, Smarty? All the bok choy's going to, I'm not even going to waste any on the bok choy. It's all going to seed, but that's okay. If there is any bees, maybe they'll come check it out. It's flowering a little bit. All right. My family was not ever into gardening like this in my life. I remember them having a garden a time or two, but mostly tomatoes and peppers. It was good, I remember. They'd make a big deal about it, but I just didn't get the chance to learn too much. My daddy died when I was 25. And so I missed out on a whole lot of things I might have learned from him. Some cool stories and stuff. Enjoyed the time I had with him. But I'm learning this stuff on my own from you guys out there in YouTube land, and I appreciate all the help. And hopefully I'm gonna give some back as we go along this little journey together. All right. I got some seeds in for broccoli and cauliflower. That's where I'm gonna concentrate my next time and effort onto. That's what I'm into. Broccoli and cauliflower I can eat all day long. If Bubba doesn't eat it all, he hogs it every time I get some. So I'm trying to grow a bunch of broccoli because, man, I really like broccoli. And that little pig eats it all. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna finish this stuff up, but I just thought I'd bring you along for a little while to show you one of those little things that everybody talks about, but you never see anybody doing it. And for the most part, it's just make sure you get it underneath too, not just on top. Anywho, we'll see you guys next time.